Welcome to Breaking News to Trading Moves. Our goal here is to take all the information you've gathered and pull out the crucial pieces you need to be well-informed and quickly.
We're focusing on the key facts, different perspectives, and what really matters when you're facing, a ton of information.
And today we're looking at the announcements from Advanced Micro Devices at the Consumer Electronics Show, or CES.
That's right. Specifically, their new AI processors. And these are for both data centers and personal computers.
So it's a two-front push.
Exactly. And what we have gives a really clear picture of the competitive pressures, the new growth areas, and maybe most importantly, who's affected across the whole semiconductor landscape.
Okay, so we'll examine what AMD announced on stage in Las Vegas, and then we'll get right into the market's perceived winners and losers.
Let's start with the data center products first.
Yeah.
AMD announced two main lines.
And these are for AI, right?
Right. And they target two very different strategies for deploying AI. The headliner was the Instinct MI455.
MI455. Okay, and what is that?
You should think of these as the absolute highest-end AI processors. They're built for these highly integrated rack-scale systems.
And what does that mean exactly, rack-scale systems? We hear that phrase a lot.
Yeah, it means we're way beyond just plugging a single card into a server. A rack-scale system is a massive, standardized compute module.
So it's the whole cabinet.
It's a whole cabinet. It integrates, dozens, sometimes hundreds of these accelerators with super high-speed networking and cooling, all delivered as one single unit.
And a key detail from the launch was the appearance of OpenAI President Greg Brockman, right? He was on stage with AMD's CEO Lisa Su.
Right, and that's not just for show. It's a strategic signal.
What's the signal?
The market sees that and thinks, okay, AMD is trying to lock in major design wins. But crucially, it shows that their software platform, ROCm, is gaining real traction with the most important player in AI.
So having OpenAI there is a huge validation.
A powerful validation. It signals that AMD is a viable alternative for real-world AI development.
Okay, that definitely turns up the heat. But you said there was a second product line for the data center.
Yes, the MI440X. This one is framed very deliberately as an enterprise or on-premise AI chip.
So a totally different approach from the 455.
A completely different lane. If the MI455 is aimed at the huge hyperscalers, the 440X is for someone else entirely.
Who's it for, then?
It's aimed right at existing corporate IT infrastructure. Think about companies with standard data centers that want to start using smaller AI models for internal business stuff.
Like what? Internal chatbots, data analysis?
Exactly. Things like that, without having to go and build a brand new purpose-built AI cluster.
So the strategy is to broaden the market, make AI easier to adopt for a regular business, not just the AI giants.
Precisely. It's an attempt to turn existing corporate infrastructure into a new area for growth.
And they also gave a peek at the future, didn't they?
They did. They previewed the next generation MI500 family, which is slated for sometime in 2027.
So that covers the data center, but at the same time, they're also going after the PC market, which could see a big upgrade cycle.
Absolutely. AMD is positioning itself for what the industry is calling the AI PC refresh tailwinds.
Okay, let's break that down. What are those tailwinds?
It's this widespread expectation that once AI really moves onto your local device, your laptop, people and businesses will need to upgrade their hardware to use all the new software features.
Especially the stuff Microsoft is rolling out.
That's the driver. And this demand, this refresh cycle, is expected to boost sales across the entire PC ecosystem.
And which AMD products are supposed to catch this wave?
They introduced the new Ryzen AI 400 series and the Ryzen AI PRO 400 processors.
And these are specifically for those new AI-enabled PCs.
Yes, for what are often called Copilot PCs. The key difference from older chips is the inclusion of a powerful neural processing unit, or NPU.
The NPU, right.
That handles the AI tasks locally on the device instead of in the cloud, which is better for performance and security.
And when do we see these in actual computers?
The OEM rollouts, so new laptops and desktops from the big brands, are expected to start in the first quarter of 2026.
So the expectation is pretty clear. This AI refresh should help lift not just the number of units sold, but also the average selling prices for the big PC makers.
Right. And that overview of their two-pronged strategy leads us directly into the market's reaction. We can look at the potential winners now.
Okay, let's start with the upside. Who are the immediate beneficiaries from this?
So the first group is focused on AI accelerators and that whole rack-scale compute build-out we talked about.
Hey, the big iron.
The big iron. The new Instinct MI455 and that very public relationship with OpenAI, it really bolsters AMD's credibility.
Hmm.
That tends to pull server demand forward for the whole industry.
So which companies benefit from that directly?
Well, first, obviously, Advanced Micro Devices itself, ticker AMD. Then you have Supermicrocomputer, ticker SMAC,
SMCI?
and Dell Technologies, ticker DELL.
Why those two specifically? Supermicro and Dell?
They're critical hardware suppliers. Supermicro specializes in these high-density server solutions, perfect for AI workloads, exactly what the MI455 needs.
And Dell?
Dell's strength is in enterprise sales, making them a natural fit for the corporate data centers that the MI440X is targeting. When AMD sells the chip, these are the companies selling the box that goes in.
Makes sense. Okay, what about the second category of winners, the ones tied to the AI PC upgrade cycle?
This is all about the new Ryzen AI 400 series parts. Their rollout in 2026 supports a whole new wave of hardware designs.
And the analysis points to two main beneficiaries here, HP Inc., ticker HPQ, and Microsoft, MSFT.
That's right. HP is a giant in the commercial and consumer PC world, so they're a primary way these chips get to end users.
And Microsoft.
Microsoft wins because this whole AI PC idea depends on their software, especially Copilot. And Copilot needs the advanced NPUs in AMD's new chips. Better hardware drives adoption of their high-margin software.
Okay, that leaves one more group of winners, the upstream companies, the ones who actually make the chips.
The foundries and the capital equipment guys. The basic idea is simple. Making more of these super advanced AI chips requires the most complex, leading-edge manufacturing.
And that's the highest margin work.
Exactly. So the analysis points to Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, ticker TSM, as the foundry winner.
They make AMD's most advanced chips.
Right. And supporting them are the equipment makers, specifically Applied Materials, ticker AMAT, and Lam Research, ticker LRCX.
Because if TSM gets more orders, they need to buy more advanced tools from AMAT and LRCX.
That's it, to handle the advanced nodes and the special packaging these AI chips require.
Okay, that covers the upside pretty well. But announcements like this always create pressure on competitors. What are the areas where we might see that?
The first area is the incumbent AI GPU space. We're talking about the established leaders who are now seeing AMD making a serious move into their territory.
So even though NVIDIA is the volume leader, just having a credible competitor like this from AMD can pressure expectations around market share and maybe margins down the road.
Exactly. The analysis flags three companies feeling that heat. NVIDIA, ticker NVDA, Intel, ticker INTC, and ARM Holdings, ticker ARM.
For Intel, it's pressure on two fronts, data center and PC. For NVDA, it's about defending that dominant market share.
Correct. The second area under pressure is the legacy PC CPU market, which is turning into a real AI PC share battle.
And that's where the Ryzen AI 400 series creates a problem for rival.
Right. By setting a high bar for what an AI PC should be in 2026, AMD tightens the window for its competitors. If NPU performance becomes the main selling point, anyone lagging behind is in trouble.
And who are the rivals mentioned here?
Qualcomm, ticker QCOM, which has been trying to break into the Windows laptop market. Apple, ticker AAPL, with its own silicon. And Lenovo Group, ticker LNVGY.
As a major OEM, Lenovo would have to make sure it has competitive options.
Right. And that brings us to the third and final group facing pressure. This one is a little different. It's the smaller or adjacent AI chip stories.
What does that mean? How does a company that isn't a direct competitor feel pressure?
It's about the market narrative. For a while, the market was rewarding a lot of specialized chip companies thinking AI would rely on many different parts.
Okay.
But when a giant like AMD comes out with a big comprehensive announcement like this, the narrative can change. It moves away from those smaller stories and back towards a multi-vendor environment dominated by the biggest players.
So investor focus just rotates back to the giants like AMD and NVIDIA.
Exactly. And when that happens, those adjacent chip stocks can underperform. Even if their actual business is doing just fine, it's a rotation of capital.
So who falls into this category?
The material identifies Marvell Technology, ticker MRVL, Broadcom, ticker AVGO, and Arista Networks, ticker ANET.
So to sum up, we've covered AMD's announcements at CES, detailing the new data center and PC chips.
The MI455 and MI440X for the data center, and the Ryzen AI 400 series for PCs.
And we looked at the three groups of market winners and the three areas facing competitive pressure.
The core takeaway is really how this single set of announcements solidifies the battle lines in the AI silicon race. It defines who's gaining credibility and who's now facing more scrutiny over their market share and pricing.
So the question it leaves for you is this. If the market is moving toward multi-vendor solutions in data center AI and higher requirements for AI PCs, how quickly will the incumbents respond to protect their long-term margins?
And finally, just a necessary reminder, this discussion is based purely on the reported content and is not financial advice. It should not be considered a buy or sell recommendation for any security mentioned. That includes Advanced Micro Devices, AMD, Supermicrocomputer, SMCI, Dell Technologies, DELL, HP Inc., HPQ, Microsoft, MSFT, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, TSM, Applied Materials, AMAT, Lam Research, LRCX, VIDIA, NVDA, Intel, INTC, ARM Holdings, ARM, Qualcomm, QCOM, Apple, AAPL, Lenovo Group, LNVGY, Marvell Technology, MRVL, Broadcom, AVGO, or Arista Networks, ANET. This is purely the opinion of the author of the material we reviewed. Thank you for joining us.